Blood Buffalo came in 8th in a GT. Well done. 8th is good. It's not quite first though, is it? Like when you go to a GT and you win and you get the 2021 No Retreat Legends of Legends trophy. You know, it's not like that. It's 8th. And if you're not first, you're last. But 8th is good. Anyway, 8th. He lost a game where my opponent rolled 40 consecutive 5-up saves. He apologised, and the TO checked his dice. Very nice guy, but very poor luck for me, or good luck for him. That happens. There's a battle report coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but there's a battle... I think it's the next Sunday one. I edited it today, because this Sunday one was already edited. So next Sunday one is edited with 2.5 Wargamers. Check out 2.5 Wargamers on YouTube. And I rolled 8 2s. It's not even a Yahtzee when you roll like 5 or something. It was 8 2s. Did my pussy just come in and out? Was there a cat? Is that what happened? Is that why the doors... Anyway, Blood Buffalo, well done. Was he wearing a hat? He sounds very sus. Was he wearing a hat? That sounds suspicious. Of course, the famous 1 and 6 dices are framed at Element Games. Hello? You okay there? Yeah, you don't want to... No? You're good. A little bit of radiator low. Is the heating on? Okay. How are we doing, chat? Welcome to this week's Talker Tuesday live stream with me, your host, Winters SEO. Glad to see so many people in the chat. Stuart's in the chat. Blood Buffalo's in the chat. Andy H. The Eternal Crusader. Jackus Woods. We've got loads of the OG in his house. Thank you, guys. Thank you, fam, for turning up. I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. I hope you had a lovely weekend. It's January in the UK, so the weather's a bit shit and a bit cold. Basically, it's January in the UK. It looks like UK normally looks all the time, which is terrible. Evening, Wrath of Constantine, Jean Wayne. Morning, Stuart Fields from the other side of the world, from the upside down. Welcome. Hope you're having a great time. So we need to dive into the chat earlier than normally today. So it is January, isn't it? What do you mean it's definitely not January? It's January in the UK. It's miserable and raining out there. It's horrible. We had a pretty dry spell for a while, but now it's bad. Europe is like frozen. Canada's under an ice sheet right now. It's January in the UK. Didn't know we were that far ahead over here. Ahoy, my brain remember it was Tuesday. I don't get Death Guard. God bless Winters and all who sail in him. February in New Zealand. Is it next time in the world? What is there? Hi, welcome to February's 3rd of February Talky Tuesday. It's February already. Where does the time go? It must be the Matrix, the machines. It's all speeding up. It needs to stop raining. I've got tanks to spray. I know, right? I've got this to spray. Shellaxy, because this one's nearly done. This one is done. So I did my demons in the dark purpley colour of the rest of my Empress Children, so that way they'll fit all the demons. Yeah, and I'm bringing them to Keeper of Secrets to King in the North on Saturday. 2 Keeper of Secrets will be fine, right? It's just 2 big 14 wounds, 4-up invulnerable save things just marching towards the enemy at 1,250 points. Doesn't feel broken at all. But I'm bringing it with -1 to hit. Doesn't feel... They're new models, okay? I want to play with my new models. Stop judging me. Who said it would be broken? Who said it's cruel? I don't think it's cruel. I think it would be cool. Also, it's less to play with. I've got less to handle all the way through. Stop judging me. Let's jump back into the chat, okay? Voices on my... How the hell is it February? It's February already. Exactly, Stuart Fields. What the hell happened to January? Apparently January is supposed to be dry as well, but we shouldn't bow to the dry January philosophy, okay? Because otherwise we'll die of thirst. Shellac. Greetings, Mark Horton. I appreciate you and your hard work. Keep it quick as I'm still in work. Big love, brother. Keeping it quick as you're still in work. Okay, guys, are any of you at work right now watching this on like your second monitor or something? Any ones in chat? Because here in the UK, it's evening, it's dark, so most of you are UK-ish, but we do have quite a Blood Buffalo's. I said one in chat's Blood Buffalo, and he put I'm in work. Zurich put one. Mark Horton 1. He's chefing. Jackers Woods 2. 1. Blood Buffalo. I'm listening on my phone. Delivering in snow in Buffalo. Yeah, I've seen it. And it looks bad over there. But 1. You're at work. So there are a few people. And Raging On. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. You absolute legend. I appreciate you. Guys, let's have a tsunami. I demand a demand coming here. I often don't demand. This is new from me, the demand. I demand a GG's, a tsunami of GG's in chat for Raging Horn. I don't think he said anything yet. He just stuck his head up above the parapet and dropped 5 gifted memberships. I demand the captain of the 13th Fleet, Admiral, Commander, Emperor of the 30th, demands a wall of GG's. Thank you so much. GG Raging. Thank you, Raging. Thank you. And if you have received a gifted membership from Raging Horn, you can link it to your YouTube account. No, you have to accept it, and then you will be unlocked. It's level tier 2 memberships. So you can join the greatest Warhammer community on the planet, the 13th Fleet. They are really good people. Jump in the water's warm. And if you want to become a tier 3 channel member, you'll get an extra Winter's Battle Report every single Winter's Wednesday. If you don't want to do any of those things, that's absolutely fine too. You can just thumb up, like the stream, write a comment. Or if you don't want to do any of those things and go and watch something else, go and watch something else. Or cat videos. Or go and like another stream or another YouTube. Or go out and touch grass. Actually, what you should do probably is go outside, touch grass, take your vitamins. Why did I say vitamins? Drink fluid, keep your waters up. Make sure you look after yourself and others. That's what you should do. In this economy, Raging Horn. Hi, Raging Horn. Welcome to you too. In this economy, you absolute legend. Harzasmigab has been a member for 36 months. Hi, Winters. Any tips for a fellow Orc player? Have been trouble with my deployment zone with how much green I've got. Now, thanks for thinking that... Thanks for thinking that this is one of those YouTube channels where you can get sound tactical advice. I am the 2021 No Retreat Legend of Legends champion. I don't mention it very much, but I've got a trophy and everything. I don't mention it very much, but thanks for mistaking me for one of those YouTube channels that actually knows how to play the game. Any tips for... I'll throw this across to the chat, okay? Any tips for a fellow Orc player with his deployment zone, with how I assume it's deploying? Any tips for a fellow Orc player there? Because when it comes to me and Orcs, I put the Orcs down and then I go that way. I'm generally not worried about my deployment zone. It might have a few Gretchen in it, maybe a mech gun or two. It's not about my deployment zone. It's going that way. Basically, you're playing Orcs. You win every single time anyway. So that's my tactics. But the chat might have something more intelligent. I doubt the chat will have something more intelligent. But the chat might have something more intelligent every now and then. One of them says something fairly intelligent every now and then. I rarely say anything fairly intelligent or even remotely intelligent, so you might come to the wrong place. Stack the Orcs. Boys carry their brothers. There you go. See? Whisper the word "wah." Will succeed. Fairinghorn Raven 7367 says, big shooty at back. This is all sound tactics if you're an Orc player. The most important thing about Orcs deployment is making sure you prep yourself in the bathroom to shout "wow" the loudest. Orc tactics. That's what you need. Wow. Yeah, see, Hamza, that's it. You're an orc player, you're winning all the time. I personally have fun every time I play orcs, every time I go up against orcs. There's just something about orcs. It's the game's fun. Have you guys seen, ones in chat, if you saw the battle report of the weekend against all of Pootle's old skills? Did you see that one? The one I put up at the weekend with loads of lead rogue trader miniature orcs in it versus my firstborn marines. If you haven't seen my latest battle report on Sunday, it's a banger. Chat will let you know it is a banger. It comes down to the last turn. Lots of firstborn OG models from my side. Lots of OG orcs and conversions on his side. It's a banger. Did I mention it was a banger? It's a banger. Epic battle rep. One was good. Wow. See? At least 4 people in the chat have put ones in. At least 4 people watched it. It was a banger. I really enjoyed playing with Bootle every single time. Yes, it was glorious. It's beautiful. Check that out. That's how you play orcs. What did he leave in the backfield? Some mech guns. Some more ones. We have some more ones. At least 8 people watched the battle report on Sunday, which is good. I mean, he had some mech. 9, 10. It was indeed it was a banger. 1 confirmed was a banger. 1 I did. See? Thanks guys for checking that one out. It was indeed a banger. Have fun playing against orcs. Have fun playing with orcs. Have fun playing with Pootle's orcs. Banger. Another one from Raging Horn as well. Yes, it was a good one. So watched half so far. Timothy Fowler, it comes down to the last dice roll. It is a close game. I thought it was going to be all over. It is now, but no. There was still some more loot to be looted and still some wow to be wowing. Shout out to the Iliad Stone. Worth becoming a tier 3 member for that. Jackus Wood, this is why I like you. Reminding me to remind you of. Hi guys, I'm Winters SEO, and if you want to watch the greatest narrative campaign of all time, the Iliad Stone is now at part 3. And it's available for tier 3 channel members. All my campaigns are available for channel members. And it's a big thank you to them. They keep this thing going. So this is how they are rewarded. This is how I pay it forward. They get all the campaigns all the time. I mean, I wish I could put all my content. I've said this before, actually. I wish I could put all my, like streamers, like I don't know, Tim the Tap Man and people Ninja and people like that. I wish they get millions and millions and millions. A big pool of people, big audience, 40k, tinier audience. So I wish I could put everything up for free, but I can't. So this is how it funds the things, the memberships and the things. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Iliad Stone, because it was the greatest Warhammer 40 campaign I've produced. I think it was really good fun. Twist in Series 3. I set up this whole encounter ready to go on this derelict space station, and my PCs know what are they? I'm the dungeon master. He's the, god damn it, I forget that. He player character, PC, I don't know. He ran away. He just ran away. There was lots of braves robbing, turning their tail and running. That's what happened on Wednesday. And this Wednesday will be part 4. But yeah, shout out the Iliad Stone. Shout out Mikey P and Warsmith Chris for helping me make that. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Glad you guys are enjoying it. Really good fun to make those. Some of my favorite content to make is the campaigns and things. And Damned Legion 40k Shorts has dropped $99 in the chat. Thank you so much. No, not $99, 99 cents. Thank you, Damn Legion. Thank you for your donation. Appreciate you. Marius Gage, who I believe last week became a tier 1, has now become a tier 3. Thank you. Welcome back to the 13th Fleet. I hope you enjoy the Iliad campaign. This is going to be a seven-parter. 7-part campaign. Sold. I did enjoy the first free episode very much. There you go. It's a good job that I ran it on for that long. Now it's sold. He enjoyed the first one. My last dollar. Damn Legionnaire, you shouldn't be putting your last dollar to me. Do not do that. Okay? Don't do that. If it's your last dollar, you keep it. Buy yourself whatever you'd like, some more bullets in America or something. I don't know. New Zealand. It's New Zealand. What would you buy over there? Buy yourself a kiwi or something. You know, don't, if you know, it's, I'm fine. I am fine. I'm still here doing this. It's a miracle somehow. I wake up each morning going, what the hell? Time to get a real job. But no, it's still going. I'm still doing this. So thank you for everyone who could afford to support me and keep it going. But if you can't, do not give me any money if you can't. Do not. Okay? Damn it. Right. Andy H, $4.99. Just checking. Is there any Iliad Stone episode where someone doesn't run away? Well, thank you for your donation, Andy H. I have to... there's a lot of running away. I mean, yeah. There is a lot of running away throughout the entire campaign, to be honest. There's a lot of brave Sir Robin going on. We were like at mission 5 or something. We were like, 1 minute, we're running away again. There's running away, but it's, look, when you've got the interstellar space police coming after you, and it's you can't run around the galaxy with a piece of dark age tech like that and not expect people to want it from you. I mean, he got the stone at the beginning. Normally these campaigns go all the way through and finally they get the stone, but we thought, no, let's do let's get the stone at the beginning and see how we get on. Give me all your money, guys. No, don't give me any money if you can't afford to give me any money. And I appreciate every donation and every member. Thank you. Right. Okay, chat, we're good. How do you feel about the 500 Worlds narrative campaign books? I just finished the law and thought it was nice and fluffy. So did I. So it was nice and fluffy. Don't know what to say, really. I like the fact that they're doing these campaign books at the end of every edition. So they did the Gathering Storm at the end of 8th. They did Psychic Awakening. No, end of 7th, Gathering Storm. Psychic Awakening, end of 8th. And then the Arcs of Omen, end of 9th. And now they're doing the Maelstrom and this one, end of 10th. So I like the fact that they're taking hold of the lore and they're doing lore-y things, which is nice. Nice to see the lore move. It's just that. My only thing is, some of these lore ones are really essential. Like the Gathering Storm, Guilliman Woke Up, Death of Iandan, Fall of Cadia, all that very important stuff. Great. Psychic Awakening, not so important. Arcs of Omen and the lores in that, that's earth-shattering lore as well. This time round, not earth-shattering lore. It seems like they're doing earth-shattering lore and then not earth-shattering, and then earth-shattering lore, then not earth-shattering. We're at the not earth-shattering lore phase. This is the end of 11th. That means at the end of 12th, the end of 11th edition, start of 12th, there is going to be some earth-shattering lore. You heard it here first. At the end of 11th edition, they're going to change some horrible stuff. Greg Shimonen just dropped in $50. Canadian bucks. 50 of them. He's 7 foot under a pile of snow. It's horrific in Canada right now. Should some yellow repainting by Mikey P required? Thank you for your donation, Greg Shimonen. I really appreciate you. GG's in the chat for Greg. Well done, Greg. Greg's over here, also very popular. Should some yellow repainting by Mikey P? 1 minute, I need to engage second part of my brain. Yellow, beep, bop, beep, bop. Oh, because of all the running away. I see what you did. That was a joke. Ha ha. Ha. Thank you for your donation. The models he painted, though. The models he painted for the campaign. Tip top. Tip top. Absolutely poggers. No slap. Full riz, that shizzle. No cap. Not gonna lie, bro. Just thought I'd drop that lingo in there in case there's any, youths watching. I can do the youth thing. That's for those of you out there as old as me, which is most of you. That meant jolly good show. On God. On God. Yeah, that's another one. On God. I forgot to drop On God. Fancy a game of TC at the weekend. Stranger come knocking. TC. Are you asking me? Trench Crusade at the weekend. Probably haven't got enough time. I'm already slotted in other slots. They are fantastic. Is that water or gin and tonic? This is water. Stay hydrated, people. This is just water. Got to keep the fluids up. I'm a youth. Andy H, you're not a youth. You must be like 40. You've been in the chat forever. And in the comment section, are you a youth? Andy H, how old are you? Pandora's Crew does look amazing. Stellar job, Mr. P. Dude, he did a stellar job on that, on painting them up. Loved it. Some of the custom inside of the ship miniatures he painted up and 3D printed. That was good. It's lovely. Woa. What does Woa mean? Woa, is that more youth speak? Greg's is a legend, yeah. What do you know about 11th? Armageddon. No, I just know that at the end of 11th, we're probably going to get 2 Primarchs turn. I'm guessing that at the end of 11th, we're going to get 2 Primarchs turning up and a big kerfuffle happening, you know? Water. Bottled water. God blimey, governor. Would you like some beans on toast with your bottle of water? That's how Americans think people in the UK sound. But really, we talk like this all the time. We talk like we have something stuck in the back of our throat. Only when we're online and being recorded on battle reports or on live streams do we change our voice to this fake shit that's going on here. To be more bilingual, to reach out and touch the rest of the world, to feel the rest of the world, to caress the rest of the world. Caress. But really, if you catch me down the pub with a pint of stout and some cheese and onion knickknacks, you'll actually find everyone in the pub talks like this, mate. This is how people in the UK traditionally speak all the time. The water in Majorca doesn't taste like what it oughta. Or the water in Majorca don't taste like what it oughta. From Land's End to John O'Groats, we all talk like we're from the horse gut. Exactly. Marius Gaze knows from Land's End to John O'Groats. For those outside of the UK that don't know, the UK's 2 furthest points are Land's End, down in the southwest of Cornwall, to John O'Groats, down into the northeast of Scotland. People walk that shit for charity or run it or cycle ride it. It comes in the news all the time. Mr. Percy Pig from Stratford upon Avon jogged the whole length of the UK from Land's End to John O'Groats, dressed only as a Teletubby in order to raise money for charities, and he raised £51 and 17p. Let's give Percy Pig from Stratford on Avon a big round of applause. And it happens all the time. Yeah, from Land's End to John O'Groats, we actually talk like this most of the time. Beans on toast are legendary. I shan't hear a word against it. I know. We're talking about, because they don't understand. They don't understand the beans to toast to butter ratio, right? First up, we're talking mainly to the Americans here, because I've seen Americans throw shade at the beans on toast, okay? This is traditional poor people's food. Wherever you go in the world, traditional poor people's food is the best food. So in America, it's like Twinkies, poor people's food, the best food. Central Europe, proggies, dumplings, chicken noodle soup, stuff like that. UK, beans on toast. You just need bread and you need beans. Done. It is traditional poor people's food. Wherever you go in the world, banging. Basically, the crappiest crap that everyone could eat. Now, Americans, see, first up, your toast is wrong, okay? You get this, your bread is all wrong. The bread should have like yeast and flour and stuff in it, and you guys are allowed to put sawdust and yak spit and toenail clippings, so your bread's all wrong for a start. So also the bread, it's got to be the cheap shit, like not even a Hovis, like Tesco's own white bread in a toaster, and it's got to be toasted a bit too much, so it's really crispy, going to black, a little bit brown. It's got to be dark. That way it doesn't completely fall to shit when you put your beans on top. Now, the butter ratio on it is very important. Basically, is a golden rule when you're doing beans on toast. If you think you've put enough butter on the bread, you haven't, stick another layer on. And then the amount of beans on the toast should be enough to cover the entire surface of the bread and a little bit off the side. Not a little bit in the middle and not the whole can. Okay, so your toast to butter to bean ratio needs to be correct. A little bit of salt and pepper. If you want to get frisky, a little bit of Worcester sauce. If you've got some money, a little bit of cheese on that. There's things you can do with beans, but you can leave it naked as you want to make it. Beans on toast, serve that up to me. I could eat that every day. Lovely. It would be smelly around the campfire, but we could eat that every day. Beans on toast, banging. I haven't seen anyone on this planet reject a beautiful plate of beans on toast. It's impossible to reject that. It's got no fruit on it. It's got nothing green and healthy and on it. It's beans, toast, butter. Lovely. Let's see what the chat think. Butter should be like a cheese slice. Exactly. HP, you could put HP on it. Absolutely, you see. HP sauce on your beans on toast. Fried bread, eggy bread, and you can put a fried bread. You can do that if you want to do eggy bread. You can just put an egg on top of the beans on toast. So it's toast, butter, beans, egg. Now we're pushing the boat out. Beans on toast is delicious. Stranger made them for me the first time. See, Rat the Constantine. He's an American. He has guns and everything, okay? I've met him. He came over to this country a few times now. Stranger Constantine has made him beans on toast, and he said beans on toast is delicious. We have. That's as far as I'm concerned. That's case closed, Your Honor. Beans in bread, not beans in bread. So beans need to be cold. No, it's warm beans. You warm the beans up. It's hot beans on toast. It's not beans just out of a can. Yeah, the toast is toasted and buttered. The beans are beaned in a pan, not in a mic. You proper warm beans. Barbecue beans on Texas toast is good. Actually popular in the Southwest. Is it really? Didn't know that. My dad used to treat us and put 2 sausages under the beans with cheese on top. Was lush. Marius Gage. Getting brought up the right way there. 2 sneaky sausages under the beans on toast. Oh, with cheese. Beans on a crumpet with cheese. That's heresy. Get out. Oh yeah, sausages and beans on toast. Nice. What's your bean to toast ratio? Mine's a whole tin, 3 slices. I'd say 2 slices for. I like a 1 big square slice, right? And then I like 1 whole slice cut in half on either side. And then enough beans to cover all of the toast and spill off the sides a little bit. And then you can pick up the other bits, which are slightly squidged with the bit. And you can use that to dip in and scoop and get the sauce off at the end. You've got to have those slices. If I'm feeling like a fat bastard, I'll go for 3 slices all the way, 4 half slices all the way around. And the king portion in the middle, I'll go for that. I will go that far sometimes. But that's a rare day. Heinz beans on well-browned toast, slathered in good quality butter, then grate some extra mature cheese and some Worcester sauce. Fire that bad boy under the grill until the cheese bubbles. Preach, brother. When eating my beans on toast, to God save the Queen, before or after I eat my beans. Yes, you say, obviously, the Christmas speech, we all stand up for the King's or Queen's speech, and we all eat beans on toast. We all salute. That's what definitely happens. Blood Buffalo. Worcester sauce, Worcester. Yeah, they say Worcester, Salisbury. But really, in the English language, even though we spell things like Worcester, you really say Worcester. See, the English language isn't really a language. It's a mixture of about 5 or 6 other languages bastarted together with wearing a cowboy hat and pretending they actually know what they're saying to each other. That's why it's all full of metaphor and allegory and things like that. It's not a real language. It's a crushed and crumpled one. It's glorious, flowery, and really, really hard to learn if you're from somewhere else. Beans on toast will help orc deployment. Yes, absolutely. I can eat beans, so it's tin spaghetti on. You can't eat beans. Well, we all have some genetic deficiencies, don't we? Like, I mean, I can't have Brussels sprouts. Well, I can, but they're the devil's testicles, and I can eat them, but it's tantamount to torture, isn't it? These messages brought to us by the Toast Marketing Board. This is not sponsored by Heinz or Toast or Butter. This stream is not #not sponsored. There's 320 bean squads in Orcs on Toast is OP. Beans on toast, very important over here. Like bottles of water. Very important. Part of the cut. I mean, other really good English customs like crumpets with butter on, Cornish clotted cream on scones, and then you put the jam first with the clotted cream on top. That's another traditional one. I mean, proper Cornish clotted cream teas. Banging. Absolutely banging. A Greg's sausage roll. Banging. Not really traditional, but sausage rolls. Cornish pasty. There are some traditional foods north of the River Thames, but everyone south of the River Thames doesn't eat them because we don't like horsehair in our food. So steak and kidney pie, those sorts of things, full of horsehair and toenails, we don't touch that. In the part of the country that can tie their shoelaces together, south of the Thames. This all sounds a bit when I had a ragu with ham and cheese on bread back in the olden days. Maybe I should make that again. A ragu? Ragu? Garlic bread? Crumpets with butter and golden syrup. Nice. Winter's compromise. I'm not compromised by big beans, big farmer, big anything else. I'm only compromised by a big belly and a big appetite. Sprouts are great. They are not great minkster. Not just for Christmas. Cooked on a tray with a crumble. No, they're not great. Sprouts are evil and must be destroyed. Okay? Most food that's green, most, not all, because some mini eggs are green, but most food that's green should be destroyed. The food that's green is the food that my food eats. I'm not eating the food that my food eats. I'm eating the food that I eat. To be fair, you can never go wrong with beans. Yeah. Only if you're downwind. Yeah. Enough culinary exercise. Do you do some kind of meta chasing, or do you go by the real rule of cool? Do I do some kind of meta chasing? No. I used to. You can, and I have. I have meta chased before, and I might meta chase again. I might. But look, if you're in the hobby for a long time, and I've been in the hobby for a very, very long time. If you've been in the hobby for a long time, it gets exhausting riding that wave on and on and on and on, because the meta's always shifting. It's a chase. New data slates, new codexes, new editions. If you're in the hobby for more than a couple of editions, then the game you're playing isn't the game that you fell in love with a couple of editions ago, because everything's changed and some of your miniatures might be irrelevant or out in Legend. It's to chase it, you have to stay on it. It's exhausting. So I definitely don't meta chase. Some of my factions, but the plus is I have a lot of factions. So whatever's up or whatever's down, one of my factions will be a good one wherever we are. Basically, right now, if someone is going to bring something scary, then I'll break out the Death Guard and they'll cry. That's what I do, because I've got Death Guard and Emperor's Children. It's yin and yang. It's black and white. The difference is night and day between the two of them, honestly. There was a Dark Angels list where I won a tourney, but I don't talk about it a lot. Yeah, that one. That wasn't actually chasing the meta. That was just trying to build a list that was really easy to play, really easy to travel, and I didn't have to think too much because I knew I'd be very drunk throughout the entire tournament, and I was very drunk throughout the entire tournament. But it was a stripped down minimalist thing, which was rock list. I like rock lists, and that was really wasn't chasing. No, but that one. To get there, to get to the list, the tuned version of the list, I did have to stay on top of the meta for a good few months. I chased it to like, where am I? How does it need to figure out what needed to be in it and what sizes and what's. There was a bit of chasing. That's the last proper time I chased the meta. I don't chase matters. I think most of the people who actually watch the channel, most are not meta chasers. Some are, but most aren't. I think we attract a different kind of audience over here. More particular, more intelligent, more refined. There you go, chat. I called you intelligent. More refined. Yes. We're more casual gamers up this end. But some of us chase metas. Some of us are, and I sometimes also go hard into the competitive play from time to time. But we're more, we shower more in this community. When did he win a tourney? News to me. I never talk about it. Played for 3 years now. Never meta chased. Regularly lose. It's frustrating. See, that's the thing. I learned a long time ago to celebrate my opponent's successes. So when horrible things happen for me and glorious things happen for my opponent, I cheer them on too. So long as Warhammer is happening, whether it's happening to me or to them or whatever, I love it. If my tank blows up in their lines and kills a bunch of stuff, great. If I fail that really important charge, great. If I do manage to make that really important charge, but swing and miss, and they slaughter that thing and then roll back over me, great. I like it when Warhammer happens. Celebrate your own opponents. See, I have the best fun when my opponent is having the most fun as well. I think that's the way it is in most games. In most games, you'll really enjoy it if your opponent is really enjoying it too. Refined, intelligent, no need for insults. Dude, that's meant to you. You are refined. You're intelligent, okay? You're a good-looking guy. Don't let anyone else tell you. Words have power, have superpower. Wake up in the morning and say to yourself, I'm refined and intelligent. Mantras, self-belief, soak those good vibes in. Give yourself some good vibes, okay? Because the world will kick you down all the time. Give yourself all the good vibes you need. You, sir, you're refined. You're intelligent. I'd say you're more of a narrative player, thanks. The best counter for a meta list is an all-infantry guardist. There are counters, yeah. Being happy for the opponent is a very healthy take on the hobby. Yeah, man, you got to, look, if you only enjoy your wins, then you're only going to enjoy half of the games you play. Half? 60%, 40%, whatever. But if you only enjoy your wins, so you got to learn to enjoy love. You got to learn to enjoy, not love, but enjoy losing as well. Enjoy just playing the game. I'm not speaking too highly of myself, but you are speaking to the 2025 Interrural or GT Wooden Spoon winner for taking 100 mean Firstborn Battle Company. Dude, you won a wooden spoon. The 2025 You won a wooden spoon. Well done. Good 100 Firstborn Battle. Well done. A up, Adam Sand. Welcome. Meta chasing only gets you so far in strategic dice game. Yeah. Yeah. That'll play at Skaven and blow up your own army. Yeah, look, this is good. Like Mr. Snakecake. That'll play Skaven, blow up your own army while trying to blow up theirs. And when they win, you've won because you helped them kill all your rats. Big brain move. Yeah. That's a lot of Warhammer right there. Playing Skaven and blowing up half your shit. Lovely. Love that. Orcs are and have always been the most fun army. Impossible not to have fun. Exactly. And if you play orcs, you'll have an 100% win rate. Because if orcs fight, they win. Meta chasers don't get 4 special red badges at narrative events. No, they do not. You, sir, have got that. Bringing a mainly all-crew army to a narrative event and getting your ass handed to you 4 games in a row. You, sir, are a legend. You get rewarded for that kind of game. And you said to me that you had a great time. And hopefully you did have a great time. I think I could see that you had a great time with your 4 losses. You just were there enjoying it with your army, seeing what they could do. And yeah, that's the point. That's why we play. So mutilators are still a thing. Didn't see that coming. We can talk about the mutilators. More mutilators coming soon from Games Workshop. I mean, this just proves my point, Stuart. Like all the models that they've removed and that have disappeared, and people are like, where are they? And I've been saying again and they're coming back. They're coming back. So Obliterators came back. Now we've got mutilators coming back. Thunderfire cannons will be coming back. Yarrick will come back. Drago will come back. All the stuff like apothecaries on bikes, they'll be back. We haven't had a captain on a bike yet. We've got loads of captains on rocks and lieutenants on rocks. We've got a chaplain on a bike. But remember when you could put all those characters on bikes? They'll be coming back. Jet bikes probably coming back. The stuff that they took away will come back eventually. Maybe not this edition, maybe next edition. Mutilators are back and they look good, don't they? The mutilators look good. For the meta chasers out there, remember, it's a new release mutilators. That means for the next 6 to 9 months, they'll be broken as all hell on the tabletop. So you get yourself at least a minimum 3 squads of mutilators if you're a Chaos Space Marine player and just roll over your opponent, because Games Workshop will make sure that they sell them by the bucket load before they rein them in. Do you remember Eradicators firing twice before they nerfed them? Centurions before. Do you remember all? Yeah, before. It's, yeah, they will be really broken. And they look so cool. What do we think of the mutilators, guys? What do we think of the mutilators? I like the mutilators. Guys, what do we think of the mutilators? Do you like the mutilators? I like the mutilators. Guys, what do you think of them? I like them. I think they look good. I'd like a whole Iron Warriors Codex, but what do you think of the mutilators? I think they look good. Victor Sky came back. Sakaran came back. Gabriel Seth came back. Chaos Squawks came back. Wood Dawn and Curse came back. No! I don't underestimate GW's ability to release new units with weak rules. Yeah, they sometimes do. And then, yeah, but then the codex will come out if they release them independently of them. And then when the codex drops, they'll just be mean. New Landspeeder coming in 11th. Yeah, Landspeeder's coming back. Librarian Dreadnought, they took my boy, I want him back. He'll come back. It was almost deserts business first and hobbies. Yeah, I'm going to get 6 for my own. See, there you go. 6 for your Iron Warriors. They'll be broken as all hell for the first 6 to 9 months. They look cool, but will you be able to buy them in a separate box? Huh? Well, like one at a time? They'll come in boxes of 3s? Huh? Gabriel Seth didn't come back. He'll come back. I think they are okay. They look too much like 3D print alternatives. I think they look really cool. But you think they look like 3D print alternatives. Okay. That just goes to show how good people are doing the 3D print alternatives now. Lazarus, he's coming back again. Mutilators could have been a dual build kit with the. They could have definitely been a dual build kit with obliterators. Yes, they could have been. But Games Workshop know what they're doing. So everything's coming back. Well, I wouldn't say everything's. Did I say everything's coming back? Like 95% of things are coming back. Probably. That's my guess. I have no inside information. Where is Doom Rider? That's not coming back. Remember when Desolation Marines tried to be a thing? Yes. With the Nerf guns. They were amazing for about 2 months until they nerfed them in a balanced data slate. Bring back Doom Rider. No, it's not coming back. Just want glue, spare bolters, plasma. Yeah, I want an update. Weird Boy in the Wired Boy. That'd be nice. I think they're all cool. Wish they had a bit more Chaosy Spawn possessed vibes. You wish they had a bit more Chaosy Spawn possessed vibes to the new mutilators. 1 minute. I think I'm at a point now where I can. No. Are you guys still there? Did I kill everyone? Because I think I'm at a point now where I can click on things and make them appear on your stream. Make them appear on your screen. But I think I might be at a point where I broke the stream. Are we still here? We're still here. Right, I'm going to do that. and then pull that over there. You're still here, which is good. I didn't break the stream. I'll pull that over there. Because I've got new techers, dude. We are Warhammer community. We're at the point where we've pressed buttons before. No, it's not impossible what kind of technology is this. You saw me press some buttons. What do you mean, where'd he go? I'm still here. Well, yes, we're still here. We were at a point where I could press buttons on the technology and show you things. I actually set them up. So we're going to go and have a look at new... Howdy, Dats and Des. We've been a member for 41 months. Thank you for Dats and Des. You've caught me red-handed trying to actually show some pictures to the chat. You've caught... This is an action shot right now. May the Omnissiah bless this humble attempt at screen sharing. I know, right? I've gone to the wrong website and everything. No, not that one. That one starts with a P. Don't put that one on screen. Click on that one. There we go. Right, 1 minute. You're not saying the correct litanies or using... Yes. Oh, machine spirit, hear my prayer. I'm about to click on some buttons and share them with the chat. And this is definitely not going to break the stream. Because someone said... What was it? I can't even see where it is now. Buttons aren't toys. I know the bobbins. Buttons aren't toys. But I need to press these buttons. Okay? We need to press these buttons. I'm going to press screen share. Right? I'm going to press screen share. This will probably work. So, you should be seeing a mutilator right about now. Can someone confirm in chat whether you're seeing a mutilator? And also all the browsers that I have along the top. This is a mutilator. Madman, he did it by the Omnissiah. It works. I know, right? This is a mutilator. Why is he showing a space elf? I'm not showing space elves. This is a mutilator. I see a knob. It's there. Thank you. Thank you for the people. Right. See that? That looks proper chaosy. Let's click on that. That one. It's got a maul coming out of his right hand. Look at this thing on his left there with the things and the knives. That looks like quite Hellraiser-y. He's got the tusks going on. He's got the big open mouth. Looks like he's just been shot in the face. I mean, yes, that is too much armor and not enough chaos grossness. You want more chaos grossness? More chaos grossness. Oh, I see what you're saying. You want it to be more chaosy grossy. Not look, he's got some chaos grossness under his arms there and anything. He's got a grabby claw and a drilly thing, and they're supposed to look like Space Marines, right? Rather than chaosy grossness, don't you think? Like their mutilators are swole. They've been on the roids. Space Marines, they're all pimped and stuff. They're not like Chaos Demon things, right, guys? Not the gross feet like the last ones. What? Yeah, but you should be back now. Are you back? I get what you're saying. What you're saying is, on previous mutilators, there were more pink squidgy stuff and less of the armor stuff. And this time, there's more armor and less of the pink squiggly stuff. That's what we're saying, right? The Hellbrute has the right balance. The Obliterators look better. Okay. So what we're saying, chat, is this an L? Are we saying it's an L? I quite like it. I pressed that and I pressed that and you're still here. They look like the 40k version of Skaven Stormfiends. I prefer these new ones. They look better. See, they look better to paint. I'm with Eternal Crusader on this one. I prefer the new ones to the old ones. I mean, the old ones were in lead, by the way, and then in resin, and they had those locked together arms. I don't know if you guys remember the really crappy old obliterators and the really crappy old mutilators, and then they went to fine cast for a bit, and then they checked. But the original sculpts were crap, and I think they just had a lot more fleshy bits on, because that was easy to sculpt back then, because they were lead back then. And now they're plastic. They can... I personally prefer them. If you don't like them or don't prefer them, or if you think that they should have a bit, that's good. It's good that you have the thing, but I think they're pretty fire. And I'm a little bit hopeful that one day we might get a version of them for Death Guard or for Emperor's Children. In the Emperor's Children art, I mean, Emperor's Children are fast, speedy. But punchy mutilators in the Emperor's Children, some sort of longer leg Bambi version, leaping at the enemy off the top rope, steel chair. Emperor's Children version, skinny-ish. That would be cool. They'd be cool. I'm looking forward to... Hell no, this is a massive W. There we go. They're cool, but they could have gone a bit further with them. They would look good in an Iron Warriors army. I think they're deliberately... Yeah. I think they were definitely deliberately aiming at the Black Legion, Alpha Legion, Iron Warriors, OG, Chaos M, Chaos Space Marines type of thing. I think that's what they're aiming for here. And Club C-Dub 8655, welcome to the 13th Tier 3. You, my friend, have just joined the best community on the planet, Warhammer community on the planet at Tier 3. That unlocks the Discord and unlocks every Winter's Battle Report every single Winter's Wednesday, and keeps your boy here in a job. Thank you. You absolute legend. I appreciate you. Enjoy all the members videos and the Iliad Stone currently running, the current campaign running for members right now. So if they're selling a box of 3 of them, they'll sell boxes of 3 for obliterators. I assume so, yeah, because the obliterators, you could only get them in 2s, right? And they used to, for a long time, you could only get them in that other box with their Venom Crawler and the thing. There's a bunch of stuff, like the Judicia. I've got one for the 13th, finally. Need to base him. But the Judicias, you can only get in the... There's many things they sell, suppressors, that you can only get in boxes with other stuff. So I'm assuming the obliterators are coming in boxes of 3. I'm assuming the obliterators will be coming in boxes of 3, along with the Mauler Fiends, when the new Chaos Space Marine drops, which is what they should have done all along. They know what they're doing, packaging them there in $100 boxes instead of just a box. And they know what they're doing. They're a $1 billion company. They know what they're doing, the bastards. They know we'll buy the entire box just to get that one little model. They know. We got Warsmith Chris last week and his mutilators this week. Hoping it's Monday the next week. Yeah, maybe a new Defiler coming soon. I want the new Helldrake rules, and that means that by that they're good. I mean, Helldrake could do with an upgrade. The Hellbrute really needs an upgrade, right? That's going to be next, surely. Chaos Space Marines in 11th edition are going to get new versions of Hellbrutes. Surely. That's coming. Surely. The old one is Monopose, been around forever. And all the other the good guy legions, bad guys. Everyone's bad guys. The Emperor-loving legions have got bigger dreadnoughts, so the Chaos side definitely going to get some more vehicles. I mean, with the old Vashtor arc happening, you know? The Dark Mechanicum arc happening. That's happening, bubbling and away in the background. Because of Astor, we're going to see some more stuff. We're going to see some more chunky monsters and tanks and defilers and Hellbrutes. Oh my. That army should be easy to kit bash. It will be. That new mutilator looks good. The reason why we didn't get new obliterators is because GW would have to redesign the Venom Crawler. What? Oh, because it's on the sprue. It's on. Is it on the same on the Venom Crawler sprue? We must be getting new Venom Crawler sprues, because the Venom Crawler only comes with one gun, right? So it's a no-brainer that there's going to be a version of a Venom Crawler coming out with another sprue in it, and instead of just one gun, there'll be a couple of different types of guns, and they'll put the cost up, and it'll be broken, and you need the new Venom Crawlers coming to a Games Workshop store near you. That's going to be a thing, and the Defiler is going to be a thing. They're going to be coming. They really did shoot themselves in the foot with these silly 2-unit sprue. Yeah, 2 units on 1 sprue nonsense was, yes, it's nonsense. I still love my Soul Grinder in my Emperor's Children army. Can you actually get a Soul Grinder in the Emperor's Children? Emperor's Children. There's no soul grinder in the new book. It's because you had me confused, sir. Because I am a few models away from completing this, minus the Helldrake, which I'm definitely not getting, because have you ever seen someone paint a Helldrake? It's pain. What you do here, after they've painted the Helldrake, is they're crying. The Helldrake, all the panels, there'll be some in chat. Anyone in chat painted a Helldrake? How was it? 1 to 10, painting a Helldrake. It was bad. I just hear people are crying because of all the trim. There's so much trim. Painting the Helldrakes are up there. Nightmare fuel. A bit like watching cricket. 2 things you would only wish upon your worst enemy. Painting Helldrakes and cricket. And Defilers, though. It'd be nice to get a Defiler in the Emperor's Children book. Never painted one, but it's trim as trim. I know it's got trim on top of all of that trim. 3, you see, Frog B44 has painted 1. 3 out of 10. Helldrakes are nightmares to paint. It would give your wrist a 6-pack. Stuart Fields, yep, painted 3 Helldrakes. I've never been the same again. Yeah. Would love them to do a plastic Plague Hulk for Death Guard. That would be so good. There's a bunch of Forge World stuff that they could easily rip and put or do versions of in plastic in the Games Workshop range. Some really, like the Plague Hulk is a good one. I want to see Blood Slaughterers of Khorne in the World Eaters book, but a version of, because they look cool as hell. I think they're still in Heresy. Anything from 1 month of Hobby Apocalypse catch you right? Yes, Jackus Woods. I wrote some notes down from 1 month of Hobby Apocalypse. I have to do this. And on that side as well. Yes, there were a few things. And there should be a Hobby Apocalypse video coming out in the next couple of days. Guys, if you are taking part in the Hobby Apocalypse this year, thank you very much. If you're not taking part in the Hobby Apocalypse this year, you can still join. The Hobby Apocalypse is a 6-month painting project. Slay the Grey. Paint, commit to painting, and if you haven't done January, that's fine, you can start now. Commit to painting 250 points of models a month, every month, till the end of July. And if you start now, you'll get 1,250 points painted. And then share your accomplishments, share your goals, share your dreams, your hopes, your successes, and your failures in the Winters SEO Discord. And me and Brap are going to do monthly roundup videos. You might even get a shout out in the monthly roundup video as well. But it's a great way for everyone to motivate everyone to get the stuff done. I'm taking it part of it this year. I did my 250 for last month, which was Fiends and the Thing. These guys are my 250 for this month. The plan is to finish the Emperor's Children project this month and then really start working on Mechanicum for Heresy, because I've really got I've got a tasty taste. I've got a toe in the door for Heresy right now. For Heresy Mechanicum right now. Haven't won with them. I might have won with them. I think I won once. I can't remember. I've had some awful games. I've had some great games. I've only filmed about 2 of them, maybe 1 of them so far. But Heresy Mechanicum is ticking all the Heresy boxes for me. January was 1,000 points of White Scars, says Mixter. January I painted a Knight Lancer and some Chaos Space Marines. January was Orcs and Votan. Winter's out of interest. How many armies for 40k do you have? I don't know. 12, something around there. But I genuinely stick with 2 or 3 at a time, because you can't play with all 12. It makes your brain bleed. So late, as we're now further into the edition, I find myself playing my old faithfuls, which are Orcs and Space Marines, all the time. Don't ever really put down Orcs and Space Marines, because the 13th are close to my heart, and Orcs are just fun. And but I went through a mad spell of Grey Knights for a long period. I went through a mad spell of Necrons for a period. But right now, them and Death Guard and Emperor's Children, and I'm really enjoying playing Emperor's Children. They're my favourite army at the moment, because they're new and shiny, and the 12-year-old inside of me likes new shiny things. And I'm undefeated in Emperor's Children as well. Won every single game I've played. And then I've got Tyranids, I've got Astra Militarum, And then I got Knights, Admech, Chaos Knights, Custodes. I haven't touched Custodes in this edition at all. I wonder why I missed them. I mean, I got the Codex, everything, read it, didn't play them at all. At all. See, there's good codexes and there's bad codexes, and the good codexes are the ones that you get if you've got more than one army. You know what I'm talking about. You get a good codex, and all of a sudden you wanna collect more, play more. And then the bad codexes are the ones that you get, and you're like, they don't inspire you. And the Custodes Codex didn't inspire me enough to play, but the Grey Knight one sure did, even though they robbed us of Kaldor Drago. And it just, there was some nice detachments in there, some nice new, I played the crap out of that one. Custodes, not controversial at all. I know, right? I did the video on the Custodes. Let's move on. Are you going to add the new Skitarii to your Mechanicum? Yes. The plan is to add the new Skitarii at some point, mainly after the two Voltarax plastic cybernetic floaty drones. I'm after two of them. So I'll get the Skitarii as well. Because I've got a lot of cybernetic constructs, but I never got them in resin. So all my cybernetic constructs are all resin, all Forge stuff. So I'm going to get two of them. They fire two guns, and both of them do stasises. One of them does stun, and one of them does suppressed, and they're 100 points each. So I can see, and they're 36-inch range. I can see two Voltarax on either flank, just trying to suppress, stun enemy units and put stasis on them. Because when you have stasis on them, you can't score, and you're initiative 1. That's what they're doing. And they're only 200 points for two of them. And then getting some of the new Skitarii and seeing what they... But mainly for the Mechanicum, the things that I'm after, the things that I'm very interested in getting is the Myrmidons and the Myrmidon Destructors. The Myrmidon Destructors have been teased and they're not out yet. And the Myrmidon Secutors, the punchy ones, which are also pretty shooty, haven't even been teased. And I'm after all them. So, and a unit of Ozarax and a unit of Thalax. Because then I'll have 3 units of Thalax for that detachment, 3 units of Ozarax for that detachment, Myrmidons to fill up that detachment, and I want some, and I'm looking for Domitars, and they're not out yet. I really like some of them. They would be really cool. And I haven't got normal Castellax with the Maulerbat and bolt cannons. I probably need some normal Castellax as well, because they're in the tactical support slot, and not in the heavy slot. They made them 2 separate units. I don't know why, but that's that. So yeah, there's about 6-7 units of Mechanicum 30k that I want to get and put together. Also, it turns out I need more Archmagoses and Magoses and Priests, because that's this edition of Heresy. You need more characters. It unlocks more stuff. In previous editions of Heresy, you'd bring 1 or 2, and that's about it. There'd be a rare day when there'd be 3 commanders on the battlefield. That was the maximum slot. 3, just 3. Now you can bring 4, and there's a secondary slot, apex slot, where you can bring another 2, so you can bring 6 if you wanna. And I played a game yesterday against Iron Hands. I didn't film it, where Alex Sessio brought along 6 commanders in the Iron Hand slot. He brought as many immortals as he could for a 5 up invulnerable save, 5 up feel no pain. He brought a big unit of Gorgon Terminators as well for the 5 up invulnerable, 5 up feel no pain. And then he wanted to bring as many Dreadnoughts as he can. And it was literally Immortals, Gorgon Terminators and Dreadnoughts. And in order to unlock all those Dreadnoughts, he bought the 4 command slot thing, and then the 2 extra command slot thing, and filled, that one was the Praetor, and the other ones, they were all Centurions with offers to the line 2 that could unlock 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, and it was like 4,500 points, and he had about 10 Dreadnoughts. And I ran Mechanicum against him with Scoria. Scoria in Mechanicum, Archmagos Scoria, who built the first Demon Forge during the Horus Heresy. That guy is a beast now. Absolute beast. And he's got Battlesmith 4, and he's a walker. So that means he can heal himself. Because you can Battlesmith walkers, automatas, vehicles. So I just healed myself. He got knocked down a bit by a Leviathan Dreadnought, but he's got Eternal Warrior 1. And then in my turn, I just healed myself, because you can battlesmith in and out of combat. It doesn't say you can't. And he's a walker, so he was self-repairing himself. Scoria, 410 points of beast. He was nice. I lost. But it was, yeah, there was a lot of 5-up rerollable going on my opponent's side, and a lot of dreadnoughts. And then I had a lot of gun. That was a great game. That was a really good game of 3rd edition. One of the reasons why it was a really good game of 3rd edition is because we didn't play a 3rd edition mission, particularly at that size. We played War of Lies, 5 or 6 turns from the previous editions, where you just fight and kill each other. It's a kill mission. You're just fighting to kill each other and then score some objectives at the very end of the game. Still a really good, fun way to play. Yes, the 2nd edition missions, they all feel the same. And they're good, they're fun, they're not, I like it. They're okay, but we can have them and others. I'm rambling. Lock in, chat, lock in. What are we talking about? What? I need these on. The new 30k custodies might be on the cards for me. Perfect for 40k. Is there a Death Watch in Horus Heresy? Weren't they created then? No, the Death Watch were created in 32k. In the War of the Beast story, they talk about it then, how the Death Watch were created 2,000 years afterwards, approximately. Do you think that 42 games are a bit too long at 2k points? That is. No. They fit. Yeah, they've always been about this length. If you're new to the game or newish to the game or learning a new army, obviously the game is going to take longer. But once you know the game and you're pretty familiar with your army, if you're playing someone else who's also pretty familiar with their army, then you can set up, get a game in and pack it all away in an evening easily. I go around Sultan's house quite regularly, and we don't film there. Just go around and play, or he'll come around here, and we don't film. I mean, half of the games of Sultan I don't film. He'll come around here. He'll get here at 7, and he'll be out the door by 10, half 10. So 3.5 hours. It's always been around that time. A couple of people. I mean, chat. How long does it take you to play a game, including setting up and packing away? And if your answer is 6 hours or 5 hours, please say why. Like, I'm new, or, you know, we're talking about a 2,000 point game. Same with Heresy, by the way. Heresy set about 3,000 points, but that game's even faster because it's only 4 turns and there's no re-rolling. But chat, how long does it take you to play a game? Because I reckon 3 to 4 hours with full. Two opponents who know what they're doing, for me, is 3 to 4 hours with setup and pack away as well. I can film a battle report with setup and pack away and filming all the way through and introducing and chatting to for like 7 hours. Takes me 7 hours, about from saying hello to someone in the door to goodbye out of the door, approximately 7 hours. Sometimes it takes 5 or 6. Sometimes it takes 8, 9, 10. But on average, 7. I'm always taking 4+, but I'm a yapper. Exactly. I mean, Steve Not Rob came around the other day, and we played a game. Again, didn't film that one. Played a lot and not filmed it recently. Winters, do you still like the hobby, even though you film loads? Yeah, I do. I play all the time, even when I'm not filming. Thanks for asking. Okay, thanks, because I've heard from other YouTubers that they don't play at all, hardly on camera, and never off camera because they hate the game. Well, that's true, actually. I do know quite a few YouTubers who actually hate the game. Shocking. But I love it. I love it. I've always loved it, and I will keep playing it. And I play a lot. And yeah, Steve Not Roll came around. He is a yapper. We yapped. It takes about 5 hours, but my list is usually a lot of inventory. 2 to 3 hours, including beer breaks. I only usually recommend your channel, Nosh Faratu, but have you seen some SPGD channel? X Games Workshop designer. Some brilliant deep dives into Warhammer games designs, 40k included. I probably have. I keep a lot of things on the phone. Terrible with names and faces. Anyone who's ever been to an event would tell you that winters can't remember shit about people. I'm terrible. I can tell you the front armor value of a Layman Rust battle tank. I can tell you rules from 2nd edition, but lock in and tell a wife's friend that I've met 20 times, oh, we're going to go around Anna's house tomorrow. It's like, who? She'd be like, I only have 3 friends. She's that one. I was like, okay. Like, I'm terrible with names and faces. I blank for them, but useless facts about old extinct editions. I'm your man. I'm close to 4.5 hours. Yeah. Horde would take 4.5 hours. Yeah. In the older days, around 4/3, it would be around 4 hours with the tea break. By 9th was around 6 due to the psychic phase. In 10th, it can be over as little as 2 hours. Yep. Tournament players will get 3-4 games in a day. Setting up train table takes a long time. Yeah, setting up, for me, my table setups, I spend a nice hour. Sometimes, again, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half. But I spend a good hour. I'll put a podcast on, I'll put an audio book on or a battle report in the background. Spend a good hour thinking about the board, thinking about firing angles, thinking about what other boards I've done recently, so I don't want to shoot the same one. Thinking about, well, if my opponent's bringing this army, then he's got to have at least... I can't do everything this narrow because I know they're bringing land raiders and they need to fit it now, you know. Yeah, I really enjoy the setting up of a board. It's like Lego for me. It's soothing. Love doing boards. Best way to bring a Night Lord Praetor as a loyal ally with my loyal factions. I have a really cool single mini I want to use. Best way to bring a Night Lord Praetor as a loyal ally. Yeah, you can. You can bring him with the loyalist, of course. There were traitors who were loyalists and loyalists who were traitors all the way through the heresy. There is a million narrative reasons you can give for having a Night Lord Praetor in your army. Black Shield or Shattered Legion detachment to look at. The Black Shield PDF is much better than the Shattered Legion PDF. The Black Shield detachment for Heresy has got some juice in it. There's lots of very interesting ways to build armies for Horus Heresy. And it's got some of that older editions flavor that they've pulled from the Heresy in this edition. This edition's lacking a little bit of flavor. Everyone knows it. We've talked about it before. But not the Shattered Legions, the Black Shield one still keeps a lot of that in it. There's still a lot of juice to be squeezed and not a lot of pips. I was already pretty forgetful, but taking a car, the brain when what battle reports does Winters listen to? A lot of them. You more of a question of which battle reports do I not listen to? I will listen to a lot of random battle reports from people who've got thousands and thousands of views to people who've only got 50 or 100 views. Not every week, not every month, but there'll be spells where I'll be diving in and diving out. There'll be spells where on the phone in the background while I'm doing stuff is audiobooks, on the phone in the background is history books, and on the phone in the background when I'm painting or setting up tables or even sitting downstairs just watching stuff will be battle reports. And I'm very much all in for a good couple of weeks on a thing. And then, but yeah, lots of different ones. Right now, I'm not on a battle report kick on the YouTubes because right now I'm making my way through the Belisarius Call trilogy on audio. So that's the kick I'm on right now on the thing. And then my late night YouTube watching, like when it's really late and there's an hour or two to burn, is Arc Raiders content. Video game content about Arc Raiders. That's my turn off switch late at night. I love Heresy lore. However, my hot take is I'm not a fan of the game's rules. This edition is more flavor for me. List builder lets me make it way more narrative without the contrived rights of war. Yeah, man. Some people prefer it. Some people don't. I think you're in the minority, but that's good. It's good. We're all allowed opinions, internet opinions. Golden Demons, 2nd edition battle reports. Winters, how would you recommend someone starts a 40k army not looking to purchase the entire thing, say Black Templars or Orcs? How would you recommend someone starts a 40k army? Black Templars or Orcs. How would you recommend someone starts a 40k army not looking to purchase the entire thing, say Black Templars or Orcs? How would you recommend? Okay. Again, this YouTube channel is not the channel to come to for competitive advice. This YouTube channel is the one to come to. I mean, we do some competitive stuff, okay? And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but strap in, guys. I won this thing once. I am the 2021 No Retreat Legend of Legends champion. I know, your man. 100% win record at GTs, GCSEs, LVOs. That's me, okay? We're not, a competitive channel, but we can be if we need to. If we need to turn it up, I can turn it up to 11. But mainly we're here for the narrative, for the fun, for the hobby aspect, for all those sorts of things. However, if I was starting an Orcs or a Black Templars army, I would stick to the narrative, to the story, to the miniatures. My best advice for you starting any army, if you're starting it, is to get the miniatures that you like, to get the units that you like, to collect them, to paint them. Because in 10 years' time, when the editions changed and when the rules have changed, hell, in 3 years' time, when the editions changed and the rules have changed, the miniatures that you got because you like them, you'll still like. If you end up buying the units that you like to paint them and get them together for the particular point in the cycle that we're on because they're good right now, then in 3 years' time, 4 years' time, they won't be good anymore. Some units are always strong because, like, a Titan is always a Titan, okay? A Catan's always a Catan. Abaddon's always Abaddon. Calgar's always... Some are always strong, but in some editions, they're better than other editions. Get the miniatures that you like. Start there. If you're starting an army, you're starting a collection. And if you're in the hobby for a long time, you want to love the models that you get. That's my best advice I can give to you. It's terrible advice. Hashtag don't listen to Witness. So don't listen to me. The chat will probably have some better ideas. They probably won't, but some of the times they do, but they probably won't. Okay, they might. Chat. Ideas on collecting an Orc or Black Templars army. Anyone? Eternal Crusade, you're in the chat. You know Black Templars. Hold off from buying Orcs Combat Patrols 11th is coming and Orcs are meant to be in the big box. See, that's the Eternal Crusader right there. That's an intelligent comment. Hold off on buying an Orc Combat Patrol box. Orcs are rumoured to be in the big box. Space Marines are always in the box. If the second faction is Orcs, that means there'll be a lot of Orcs up on eBay for the first couple of weeks after the 40k drop for 11th edition. So probably hold off on Orcs right about now. It's probably a good shout. Trophy or it didn't happen. It's next door. If I start on Orcs, I'd wait 6 months until 11th edition start box drops. Exactly. I've heard a lot of people complain that the Rights of War disappearing in 3rd edition, but is there a list that you could build with the Right of War in the past that you cannot build now? There's many things that you can build now in Horus Heresy that you couldn't in the past, because the new force organization chart has allowed you to bring more stuff. If you bring more commanders, you can bring more stuff. So previously you could only bring 3 fast, 3 heavies, 4 elites. So now you could bring an army entirely of heavies. You could bring an army entirely of tanks, entirely of fast, so long as you bring a lot of commanders. So the new edition allows you to bring more weird, allows you to lean to more extremes, like a more elite heavy army or a more heavy army or a more fasty army or a more, allows you to do that, which is good. That's one of the good things about the new Force Org. But your question was, is there a list in the past that you could build with the Right of War in the past that you cannot build right now? Yeah, there's loads. Full drop pod army, gone. A full recon army with recon rights of war, so you bring recon guys in the troop slot, gone. Day of Revelations, Blood Angels army, Deep Striking army, gone. White Scars, famous for bikes, a whole army of bikes and speeders, gone. There's plenty of rights of wars, things that you could do that you can't do now because they changed the right of war system. The right of war system now is there's more variety overall, less narrowness, but the narrowness before was very specific, and so what was I going to say? Yeah, so the new right of war system, oh yes, so the new right of war system essentially allows you to add certain units to your army now. So you bring X right of war, and I can get more Terminators in it. If you're an Iron Hand, I bring X right of war, and I can get more Rampages in it, and Red Butchers in it. If you're a World Eater, for example, a way to bring more of certain things, just add more of this. Whereas previously, some of the rights of wars were very tuned, very focused in. If you're creative and you want to actually make your own narrative for your army, it's better. Second edition was generic on me. Yeah, I believe the thing with Rights of War is they gave you rules to support the unit types, like making Terminator scoring. There was a Right of War called, I forget what it's called, Veterans or something. Pride of the Legion. The Pride of the Legion Right of War allowed you to take certain elite troops, elite units in the troop slot and give them line. So you can only take 4 elite units in the previous edition. And so what that did was, by taking a couple of those units in the troop slot, that allowed you to take even more elites. Some people used that right of war to bring Terminators as troops and give them lines so they could score. I used it in the Emperor's Children to bring veteran squads in so they could score. I did use that right of war a couple of times in a couple of battle reports with the Iron Hands to bring Iron Hands Terminators as troops and score. But that's an example of a lot of the old ones were like, if you use this right of war, it isn't in this slot anymore, it moves across to that slot. And what that allowed you generally to do was free up some more stuff in the slot that they came out of. Winters, you've been in the hobby for a while. Do you have a Catan Ravager or Blood Slaughter in your collection? No. I hated the White Scars right. It was just you are bikes. You are only bikes. It's like being an... No, see, the White Scars right of war... So... So, White Scars, any legion could take whatever they wanted to take using no rights of war. Everyone had access to 0 rights of war, and just like, again, about a third, a quarter of the battle reports I did in 2nd edition had no rights of war, because there was always a negative as well as a positive to bring in a right of war. And then there were generic rights of war in the book as well. Some legions had very specific rights of war that they could only get. So Blood Buffalo is pointing out the White Scars one. White Scars had 2. So White Scars were the only legion in the previous edition that could run an entire army of bikes. There was a slot, a generic right of war for bike-led forces, Raven Wing type forces in the old one, but you couldn't fill it out with just bikes at 3,000 points. You needed to put some aircraft in it as well. But yeah, so I like that. So of all the legions, if there was one that you could only bring bikes and speeders in, it would be the White Scars, and they allowed that in the rules. So White Scars could bring speeders and bikes if they wanted to. If they wanted to do that right war, they didn't have to. Like the Day of Revelations for Blood Angels. So again, Blood Angels could pick no right of war, they could pick generic right of war, but Blood Angels also had access to the Day of Revelations right of war, where they could deep strike large portions of their army, or indeed entire portions of their army if they wanted to, and bring them in on the turn they wanted to without scattering. They were the only one that could do that. And the reason why they were the only ones that could do that is because they were blood angels. So they could bring loads and loads of assault pack guys, and it was all jumpy guys and Terminator guys, blood angels. So there were some things that some legions could do that only they could do. And that's gone now. Didn't mean they had to do it, but I like the fact that it was there. Iron Warrior's rights didn't let you enter from reserve deep strike. Yeah, exactly. So that's Iron War. So all rights of war had negative as well as positive. So for example, the bike one for White Scars was if you're going all bikes and all speeders, you weren't allowed to bring any heavies. So if you did that particular right of war, you couldn't bring any tanks. Like if you're doing the drop pod assault, full drop pod assault, this is a full drop, your entire army in drop pods, and Kabaddi claws and Dreadclaw drop pods. If you were doing that, then obviously you couldn't bring any heavies in that right of war as well, because they can't fit tanks in drop pods. You can't deep strike Land Raiders, can you guys? You definitely can't deep strike Land Raiders. That would be crazy if they brought out a rule or some sort of system which allows you to deep strike Land Raiders. People who be painting scorcher mark re-entries on the side of Land Raiders as they deep strike down onto the battlefield. I mean, that would be law-breaking, ridiculous bullshit if they ever came up with a rule like that. Instead, they had an entire drop pod army where you could drop, and stuff comes out of drop pods, dreadnoughts, other things, like that. But you wouldn't, so there was some restrictions. Each right of war had a positive and a negative to them, which is why a quarter of the time I didn't run any rights of war. I just run the standard force org chart. Yeah. Exactly. Buy your expensive White Scar Leviathan Dreadnought. You're not allowed to use it. No. Yeah. So yeah. Deep striking Land Raiders. Definitely not a thing. Crazy. That it did release way back in the day the resin Thunderhawk transporter. So everyone's seen the Thunderhawk gunship, right? There was a Forge World version called the Thunderhawk transporter, which would drop 2 Predators, 2 Rhino in that whole area. It would drop, and that could have a Land Raider attached to it, and you could buy it and then buy the Land Raider and fly it on and deep strike vehicles onto the battlefield on the underside of a transport. That was lovely. I would never drop a Land Raider from the sky using an enlarged teleport homer instead. Blood Angels Land Raiders could deep strike in one of the previous 40k editions. Almost as bad, yeah. There is, there's been, I think the idea is they're supposed to be on a thing. Yeah. Anyway, guys, the reason why we haven't actually got to the title of the stream, I've been doing for an hour and a half, and no one's asked me what is one of them. And I'm glad you didn't, because this Talkie Tuesday live stream was, normally I prepare and I write some things down. And I remember last live stream, I wanted to talk about the Mechanicum. We went off piste in loads of different directions. And I kept saying, there was I should have written it down. As I did the live stream, people were asking questions about X or Y. And I was like, that's a really good idea. I need to write that one down for another live stream because I could go on for hours about that. That'd be a great conversation piece. Let's write that one down. And I never did. So last live stream, I actually came prepared and I actually got some chunks out of the chat, which would have made better and more coherent live stream content for this week. And didn't write any of it down, and I didn't prepare for this one, so this is one of them. This is one of the Warhammer live streams where I didn't prepare at all. I just locked in for this one, and we started chatting, because, I was busy painting away my Keeper of Secrets over there, listening to Belisarius Call, and I'm literally 46 minutes from the end of the book, and I was like, damn, I need to stop, do the live stream. So, that's why I didn't get prepared, because I was deep up Belisarius Call's spiky bits before we started this live stream. So I'm glad that you guys have kept the content churning this evening. You're legends, guys. You're legends. You kept the content churning this evening. This live stream is for you, by you, written by you, produced by you, directed by you. You guys are legends. And it's been great. It's been great. We've been chatting. Winter's Lodge tokens when? I've done some in the past. I'm not sure we'll do them again. You're the first person to mention Lodge tokens in a very long time. Schrodinger's, one of them. Yeah, this is one of them live streams where we had no content, no title. It was down to you. I call royalties. What? What do you mean? Well, no. You can have 50p. Over half a year on, what's our opinion on 3rd edition? That is one hell of a live stream question to ask. Probably one for next week, Mr. Amazing, for the win 123. You know what I mean? Over half a year on, what's our opinion of 3rd edition? I mean, you can ask the chat what their opinion of 3rd edition is. I did a video on it called Did It Fail? And within the first 30 seconds of that video, I said it didn't fail. It's fun. Basically, as long as I'm rolling dice, I'm having fun. However, there are some really, really big clangers in 3rd edition. There was clangers in 2nd edition as well. There were clangers in 2nd edition. No edition is perfect. Some editions are better than others, depending on who you talk to. Someone will prefer this edition over this edition. But, I mean, the terrain rules in 3rd edition are the worst terrain rules Games Workshop have ever written for any game system they've had decades and decades and decades of writing terrain rules. Decades. Many 40Ks, many heresies, many old worlds, many the other ones, Sigma. Many decades of writing terrain rules. And in this edition of 3rd edition, they think if you lie on top of the sandbag, you're in cover. If you stand behind the sandbag or the fortified wall, you're not in cover. It's the worst terrain rules written in the history of terrain rules. So that's a complete clanger, which is why whenever you go to any event ever or watch, the people are house ruling it from word go. So, but as the edition stands, it's a pretty good edition. Yeah, the missions as well need some work on. Because the missions are pretty samey. You can have sequential mission scoring. Sequential mission scoring is good. It's fine. It's fun. I like playing sequential mission scoring. But there are other ways to play where you could have Maelstrom of War type scoring in Heresy. You can have Open War type scoring in Heresy. You can have OG missions back where you don't score to the end of the game in Heresy. You can have missions in Heresy like where you don't score at all, where it's just kill each other. There's lots of different ways to play the Warhams, and 3rd edition missions, even if you've got any of the supplement books, they're still all sequential scoring, all of them. And yeah, it's designed with events in mind, designed with tournaments in mind. You can tell that because of the sequential scoring and because of the 4 turns. But you can have both. You can have both. And I'm hoping at some point during this edition cycle, they release a book and it's got 5-6 turn missions in it, or 5 turn missions, roll a dice, go to turn 6, and some missions that you score at the end. So people online and SN and myself and other channels don't just make up our own missions just to break up the flow a little bit. Because that's what's happening. Some YouTube channels are already adapting previous mission rules to show variety for you guys. That's what we're doing. So if a book comes out which has another way to play missions, that is, from Games Workshop, then it kind of gives permission to people to play those ways, rather than just watching it from a YouTuber doing YouTube things. But yeah, the missions need work. Well, the missions need expanding. The missions need... There could be more variety. Have you played against Brap's Horus Heresy Army yet? No, he hasn't even played it yet. He's getting there. He's nearly there. I think we've got some games booked in. Go to the Murder House in March. So in March, I'll introduce him to some Heresy then. This edition terrain rules seem like someone forced them to come up with something new, and the rules writers used malicious compliance to accommodate the request. Nate Brooks, I can't disagree with you. This edition's terrain rules feel like they gave it to the 17-year-old intern sitting in the corner that has never played a war game before. It's a war game. War gaming. It doesn't have any rules for like tank traps, barricades, stuff like a war game. If there was one set of things, like I get the idea that they wanted to change it up and introduce some new stuff, and so I mean, like swinging at initiative instead of everything being at initiative 4, 5, 6 and then unwieldy. Having initiative -1, initiative -2, swinging at initiative modifier rather than it all or bust. I like that idea. Increasing the amount of brutal weapons in it. So brutal 2 thunder hammers, brutal 3 Gravis power fist with pretty much all the brutal that you get. Dredge hammer siege cannon, that was brutal 4. But increasing the amount of damage some weapons do. So autocannons now becoming damage 2. They used to be damage 1. Las cannons becoming damage 2 if you stay still. It used to only be damage 1. That increasing the amount of brutal weaponry. That's a nice change. The initiative modifiers, nice change. They change lots of stuff. Here's an example of them changing something for change's sake. In 1st and 2nd edition, you rolled off, and the winner of the dice roll chose whether they wanted to deploy first, go first, unless the opponent sees the initiative. In 3rd edition, you roll off, and the loser of the dice roll, the loser, chooses whether they want to deploy first, go first, unless the opponent sees the initiative. It's exactly the same mechanic. The mechanic is precisely the same. Except that in 2 editions, it went to the winner, and in this edition, it goes to the loser. That's the only change. That's just change for change's sake. That's insanity for me. That shows you the mindset of some of the Games Workshop higher-ups when they were looking at Horus Heresy 3.0. Let's make some change for change's sake. And I've been said all of those things. If there's one chunk of the rules they basically didn't need to touch, change for change's sake, it was the terrain rules. They could have taken the terrain rules over from the previous editions, slotted them into this edition, and everything that they didn't need touching. Another thing that cover used to give you in previous editions, like if you're firing through your own units or enemy units, if there was stuff in the way of that thing over there because you're shooting at 48 inches away, they would get a 6-up cover save. You might get distracted by all the shit in the way. But now I can fire my autocannons 40 inches from one side of the board, through trees, through broken windows, past all those Terminators that are charging over there, into that unit on the other side, and they get 0 cover. So, yeah, the terrain rules, they could have just brought them over. It would have been fine. The terrain rules were good. I mean, like the terrain rules in 40k right now are pretty good. No one uses them because everyone just does L-shaped ruins, but there are terrain rules in there for barricades, for obstacles, for enclosed buildings, for industrial ruins, for trees, for hills, and for ruins. Everyone just uses ruins, but there is terrain rules in there. The terrain rules in 40k are more complex than Heresy, and Heresy is the wargamer's war game. It's the no one starts Games Workshop their journey in Heresy. Everyone starts in AOS or in 40k. People, those are the entry level stuff. And then once you've been in the hobby for a while, you might go, oh, Blood Bowl, or oh, Necromunda, or oh, Heresy, or oh, you go down the rabbit hole. You go down those games are down below the rabbit hole. Those games are supposed to have a bit more teeth. A bit more war gaminess in the war game, but the terrain rules. 17-year-old intern at the back of the bus. It was terrible. Where are we? Evening all. My timing needs work. Looking forward to watching this later. Thanks, Fendaxfist. What was first ed like? I only got into second like a month before it got axed for third. First and second were very similar. First edition was very similar to second edition. It was an evolution. They didn't have any reactions in it. Imagine second edition without any reactions in it and a bit more jank. Rights of War were similar. The missions were similar. There was no Sunder. There was no Brutal. You couldn't charge out of Deep Strike. In Heresy 1.2 and second edition, you could charge out of Deep Strike. Now in third edition, you can't charge out of Deep Strike again. So, yeah, Heresy 1, 1.5 and 2 were similar. The core rules, the core foundation was 90% alike. That was First Ed. Cool. Okay. How long have we been going? Going on for a good hour and a half. So I think we're going to do, and I've run out of water. Look. 2-minute warning. We'll start to wrap things up. Any more questions, comments, suggestions and things? Here's the thing, chat. Next week, next Tuesday, because it's February, don't you know? Next week, here's what we should end on. This is a good idea. I've had a good idea. I know, right? Are there any topics that you would like me to cover in a live stream? I'll get a pen and everything and write it down. Shout as loudly as you like. And people repeat the ones that you really like. Like, is there a topic I should be covering on this? Is there something you want to hear me talk about? It'll give me ideas. Or if the answer's like no, then I'm down with that too. I'll just rock up on a Tuesday after painting some Keepers of Secrets and listening to cool audio books and just chat with you. If you prefer the free, that's another thing. If you prefer this free flowing type thing, then also let me know. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? Where's the pens? I've got a Sharpie. I can use a Sharpie. Please can you do a look at King in the North lists? This will be after King in the North. Look at King in the North lists. That's a nice one. Narrative minis we wish we existed. A whole live stream on narrative minis we wish we existed. I know. Airbrushing. No. How did the Broncos... Ankle. Our quarterback broke his ankle. Those nasty Buffaloes. We beat the Buffaloes. Then right at the end, someone shot our quarterback in the ankle. That's why. Approach to writing narrative campaign. That's a hard one. Approach to writing narrative campaigns. It changes for every single campaign. What's your process for a narrative series? That's 2 people. Do you meticulously plan? Yes. Or wing it a little? Yeah. I plan the plot. Okay. Narrative campaigns. Narrative campaigns. Sounds like 2 people asking for that, which means there's probably a few more people asking for that. Approach to write. Yeah, you added a second we in that. I did what? Hopes for 11th ed. We could do that. I mean, hopes for 11th ed. Hopes for... I don't have any. So I can't really talk about my hopes for 11th ed. I've been in the hobby for such a long time. I hope it's good. You know... I hope it's a good edition. I hope it's more balanced when it comes out than this edition. Do you remember like Eldar had like an 80% win rate for the first 6 months because someone thought it was a good idea in this dice rolling game to give Eldar the mechanic where they could pick their own dice rolls and give them 12 dice to pick and give them access to loads of devastating wounds. Surprise, surprise, they won all the time. I hope something like that doesn't happen. And I hope that there is... as well as the competitive way to play, I hope there's also a Mordex and Maelstrom of Wardeck. I hope in the main rulebook there's like, instead of 1 mission, I hope there's like 6 generic, lovely narrative missions in there as well. So there's something for new players to jump into. Just look at the main rulebook and use those missions for a bit. or there's a deck of cards which is for casual play. That's for the new casual Timmies and also the competitive stuff. That's it. That's what I want for 11th. That's it. Who do you think will win the Super Bowl? I think it's going to be the Eagles. I want it to be New England, though, because then the New England's head coach will be the first head coach in the history of the NFL to win a Super Bowl as a player and also a head coach. So I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'd love it if history was made. Do you ever get hobby burnout? Not really. Hobby burnout is a good conversation, though, because I could talk a bit about that. Hobby burnout. Okay, I got it. How would we make a game around the unification wars? They're good. I mean, I reckon it's just a matter of time. They did heresy, like, boom. Can you imagine a unification wars book series coming out? Just 10 books with some game, and it's a skirmish level game or a combat patrol level game. That shit would fly off the shelves. They would end up writing 10 more books, and then would have Unification Wars and Horus Heresy, and then 40k. I mean, it would. You meant Seahawks. Winter's Paint Zeldas. If you did not play Warhammer, what tabletop game would you be playing and why? Trench Crusade, because it's all designed by the same people, the OGs, who made Warhammer. Okay, so I've written 4 things down, chat. So we're going to either look at King of the North lists, yes or no to that one. Or we'll have an in-depth discussion about narrative campaigns, designing them. So 1 or 2. King in the North lists or narrative campaigns, designing them, structuring them, 1 or 2. Which one of those would you prefer us to chat about? Because I think I already answered hopes for 11th. And then hobby burnout, I don't really get, but I know a lot of people do. We could talk about that. But 1 or 2. Look at King of the North lists or narrative stuff. 1, yes. 2, 3, 2. Narrative 2. 1, 2. 3, 1, 3, 1. Okay. This is fairly split. Both is what I'm hearing. 2, 2. My 1 is worth 2. 2. Narrative. 2/3 leaning to the narrative angle, 1/3 leaning to look at the king of the... Basically, both of these are quite popular answers. Narrative. Raging Horns just saying narrative multiple times. Both is good. Okay. So both of them. Both is 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Yes. Right. There is a slight biasing to more. There's a slight biasing towards looking at narrative campaign structure and design, and then there is looking at King of the North list, but there is quite a lot of people who want me to look at King of the North list as well. So what I'll do is I will circle those and I will take that off and I will put that there so I remember the 25th day of September is away. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Big cloudy day. What's that movie from? That was a fantastic movie. I'm here for the ride, whatever road it's on. Do a vlog for King of the North. The vlogs, see, they're hard because it's drunk mainly and being silly, and I'm quite chatty, and I can't. God, I couldn't get a ticket. Do it. Do I have to? It was a band, not a movie, Earth, Wind and Fire. I know, but it was also from a movie with a thing, and they're dancing at the end, and she was in Spider-Man, the original Mary Jane. Forget her name. I'm old. somewhere. It doesn't matter. It was a funny thing. What vlogs are funny? I know yes, but my vlogs will come out the same way, which is old man yelling at clouds with a sore throat, being slightly drunk, and things. You know, Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, that one. She was in it. It was a great movie. I might remember it for next week. I really need to do a vlog for King in the North. I don't want to. It's hard. I'll forget, and then I'll get home, and then I'll have an hour and a half's worth of footage, and I'll watch the hour and a half of footage, and it's like, I can't put that up, I can't put that up, I can't put that up, that's inappropriate, I can't put that up, why is that out of focus? That is washed out by the sound noise in the background. That's inappropriate. Why is the phone recording the table for 10 minutes? Was it really recording? And then there'll be a big gap because, oh shit, I remembered to film around breakfast time and then didn't start filming again until 2 o'clock. And so how am I going to film that 6-hour gap where I forgot to film anything from the bit to the end? Why is that a picture of my penis? Things like that. And it will take a lot longer to edit than a battle report. It's mostly inappropriate, and and it doesn't structure, and the whole vlog will basically be exactly the same thing as the other vlogs that you've seen, which is, hey, I'm here at Element, and there's some people, and then bye, and it's, you don't want to see that. Who wants to see that? Huh? Who wants to see that? No one wants to see that. Helmet cam. No one wants to see my helmet cam. No one wants to see that, okay? It would need extreme close-up to film something that small. Right, yes, I think we're done. The water's done. I've done the thing. Is everyone done? Are we done? Chat, we're done, aren't we? Thank you for watching this week's Talkie Tuesday live stream with me, your host, the 2021 No Retreat Legend and Legends Champion, Winters SEO. Thank you to everyone who's come to this Talkie Tuesday live stream, and big shout out to all my subscribers, in particular my members who help keep the lights on and keep this crazy roller coaster on chugging. You guys are legends. If you're watching this as a VOD afterwards, shout out to the VOD squad. You guys are legends as well. But thank you to everyone for your continued support. For those who are coming to King in the North on Saturday at Element Games in Manchester, I will see you there. I do know that I already know about 5 or 6 people who are turning up. I haven't even got tickets and they're just turning up to say hi anyway. You're more than welcome to pop by and say hi. And buy some stuff from Element and buy me a beer. It's Super Bowl the next night as well. So Tuesday I might be a bit ragged because I'll keep going on Monday. So Saturday is going to be King of the North. Super Bowl night on Sunday. Monday I might have a lie-in, but I imagine I'll just keep going until we hit the Tuesday. Going to VOD now. See you at King of the North. Vlog it. See you all. See you all, everyone. Good night. Good night. And happy wargaming.